Welcome. Tonight, we journey across America, not to its landmarks but into the shadows, to confront the homelessness crisis reshaping our cities and towns. This is more than statistics. It's about empathy and understanding the realities faced by hundreds of thousands of Americans. Let's begin where the crisis is most visible. Our journey begins in California, the Golden State, epicenter of America's homeless crisis. This is a place known for its sunshine, innovation, and dreams, but also for a growing emergency that has captured the nation's attention. Here, the contrast between prosperity and poverty is more visible than anywhere else in the country. Over 180,000 people are homeless here, nearly a third of the nation's total. Every day, thousands wake up on sidewalks, in parks, or in their cars, facing uncertainty and hardship. The scale of the crisis is staggering, touching every corner of the state, from bustling cities to quiet suburbs. Encampments line LA's freeways, and in San Francisco, the crisis is impossible to ignore. Tents and makeshift shelters have become a common sight, a stark reminder of the challenges so many face. The issue is not hidden, it's woven into the fabric of daily life. For every 10,000 Californians, about 46 are without a home, a stark failure in the richest state. The gap between those who have and those who have not grows wider each year as housing becomes more and more unattainable for many. Skyrocketing housing costs, poverty, and mental health challenges drive this crisis. Even those with jobs struggle to afford rent, while others are pushed to the margins by illness or misfortune. The dream of a stable home slips further away for countless families and individuals. Families live in cars, veterans sleep on the streets, and the unsheltered population exceeds 123,000. Shelters are overwhelmed and many are left to fend for themselves, relying on the kindness of strangers or the resilience they can muster. The tension is palpable, a daily reminder of profound inequality. Residents, business owners, and the unhoused themselves all feel the strain as communities grapple with how to respond to a crisis that seems to have no easy answers. California's beauty and wealth stand in sharp contrast to the struggle on its streets, setting the stage for our exploration. As we delve deeper, we'll uncover the stories behind the statistics and seek to understand how this crisis came to define the Golden State. Next, New York. One of the world's most iconic cities, a place of towering ambition and endless opportunity. But beneath the glittering skyline, a different story unfolds each night, one that's hidden from the millions who pass through its streets every day. Here, the crisis is one of shelter, not just the streets. While homelessness is visible in some neighborhoods, the true scale is often masked by the city's unique laws and systems. Over 88,000 people are homeless in New York City. But thanks to the city's right-to-shelter law, most aren't sleeping rough. They're hidden away in a vast, overburdened network of shelters, hotels, and temporary housing. This law, unique in the nation, guarantees a bed for anyone who needs one, but it also means the crisis is largely out of sight. Families, including thousands of children, often find themselves living in converted hotels or makeshift shelters for months, sometimes even years. For many, these places become a reluctant home, as the city struggles to keep up with the growing demand for shelter and support. The cost of living in New York is staggering. A single lost job, a medical emergency, or an unexpected rent hike can push even working families into homelessness. The margin for error is razor thin, and the safety net is stretched to its breaking point. In recent years, waves of migrants and asylum seekers have arrived, seeking safety and a fresh start. Their arrival has pushed the shelter system to its absolute limits, exposing deep cracks in the city's ability to provide for everyone in need. The crisis here is less visible than in places like California, but it's just as severe. Behind closed doors, in anonymous buildings scattered across the city, tens of thousands of lives are on hold, waiting for a chance to move forward. Without truly affordable housing and real solutions, even the strongest legal protections can't solve the crisis. For many New Yorkers, the dream of a stable home remains heartbreakingly out of reach. In Florida, the promise of endless sunshine and sparkling beaches draws millions every year. But beneath the postcard-perfect surface, a harsh reality persists. Nearly 31,000 people in the state are homeless, struggling to find a safe place to sleep each night. Many of these individuals work tirelessly in Florida's booming tourism and service industries, cooking meals in busy kitchens, cleaning hotel rooms, or serving visitors at bustling attractions. Yet, Despite their hard work, countless people still find themselves sleeping in cars, shelters, or on the streets, unable to afford the soaring cost of housing. The threat of hurricanes and extreme weather only makes life more precarious. Each storm brings new dangers: flooded streets, damaged shelters, and the constant fear of losing what little they have. For Florida's unhoused, survival becomes a daily challenge, with nature itself often working against them. In cities like Miami and Tampa, the unhoused are at their most vulnerable, especially during storms. With few safe places to go, many are forced to seek shelter under tarps, in doorways, or wherever they can find a bit of cover from the elements. Instead of support, many face laws that criminalize homelessness, bans on camping, sleeping in public, or even sitting on sidewalks. These policies trap people in cycles of fines, arrests, and jail time, making it even harder to escape homelessness and rebuild their lives. Florida's booming economy and thriving tourism industry bring prosperity to many, but the workers who keep it running often see little benefit. While visitors enjoy the sun and sand, those behind the scenes struggle to make ends meet. The state's natural beauty and luxury developments stand in stark contrast to the growing number of people fighting for basic shelter. Tent encampments and makeshift homes are a reminder that not everyone shares in Florida's prosperity. For tourists, Florida is a place of dreams and escape, but for too many residents, it's a daily struggle for survival, one that's often hidden in plain sight, just beyond the reach of the sun and sand. Texas, a symbol of growth and opportunity, now faces its own homelessness crisis. Over 27,000 people without homes. Booming cities like Austin have seen housing costs soar, pushing out long-term residents. Economic eviction is a primary driver as prosperity leaves many behind. Policy debates rage: should cities allow public camping or clear encampments? The crisis looks different across Texas. In border towns, it's tied to immigration; in oil country, to economic swings. Rapid growth without affordable housing fuels the problem. Texas is a case study in how unchecked expansion can deepen inequality. The challenge: ensure opportunity reaches everyone, not just the privileged few. In Washington, over 25,000 people are homeless, most in Seattle and King County. Extreme wealth and poverty exist side by side: encampments near tech giants, RVs lining industrial streets. The crisis is visible, affecting tourism and sparking debate about the city's identity. A severe housing shortage and opioid epidemic drive the problem. Many live in vehicles, priced out of rentals despite working full-time. Seattle's struggle shows how even progressive, prosperous regions can fail their most vulnerable. The city's shadow is long, and the crisis shapes the experience of all who visit. Oregon, with over 18,000 homeless, has one of the highest rates per capita, and most are unsheltered. The crisis is visible statewide, not just in Portland. Housing shortages, near-zero vacancy rates, and rising rents leave few options. Mental illness and substance abuse paired with limited treatment deepen the crisis. People create makeshift homes in public spaces, revealing both resilience and despair. Even with a progressive reputation, Oregon struggles to keep up. The crisis tests the state's values and exposes the limits of good intentions. Economic inequality and a frayed safety net have devastating human costs. In Massachusetts, over 15,000 are homeless. Most are families, protected by a right-to-shelter law. The family shelter system is overwhelmed, especially with new migrant arrivals. Many families are housed in distant hotels, far from jobs and schools, causing deep disruption. Boston's contrasts are stark. Historic wealth blocks away from encampments and addiction crises. Prevention efforts focus on rental assistance and legal aid, but funding falls short. Even with mandates, a broken housing market leads to emergency declarations. Massachusetts' struggle shows that legal protections alone can't solve a crisis rooted in affordability. Arizona's 14,000 homeless face unique dangers: urban sprawl and deadly heat. Most are in Phoenix, where rapid growth has priced out many longtime residents. The Zone, a massive encampment, was cleared, but the problem only scattered. Summer temperatures above 110 degrees Fahrenheit make survival a daily battle. Outreach teams race to provide water and shelter, but resources are limited. New developments rise on the desert's edge, while others struggle in the urban core. Arizona's crisis warns of the dangers of unchecked growth and climate extremes. The stakes are life and death for those left behind. Pennsylvania, with over 13,000 homeless, reflects the legacy of industrial decline. In Philadelphia, homelessness and addiction are deeply intertwined, especially in neighborhoods like Kensington. Beyond the city, former steel towns face job loss and aging, inadequate housing. Tens of thousands of students are homeless, often hidden from view. Children sleep in cars or double up with other families, their education and stability at risk. The state's resilience is real, but so is the scale of the challenge. Economic shifts cast a long shadow and recovery is uneven. Pennsylvania's story is a reminder that the past still shapes the present for many. Georgia, with nearly 11,000 homeless, stands at a crossroads of growth and inequality. Atlanta's rapid expansion has led to gentrification and rising housing costs, displacing long-term residents. Encampments under highway overpasses highlight the city's divisions. In rural Georgia, poverty and lack of services make escaping homelessness even harder. The crisis is statewide, not just urban. As the South grows, the question is, who benefits and who is left behind? Georgia's struggle mirrors America's. Can prosperity be shared, or will some always be excluded? The answer will define the future of the New South. Our journey ends, but the crisis continues for hundreds of thousands of Americans. Behind every statistic is a person, a parent, a veteran, a worker, struggling for stability. This isn't someone else's problem, it's a challenge to our collective conscience. If you believe understanding is the first step to solutions, please subscribe and join the conversation. The road to ending homelessness begins with empathy and action. Thank you for watching.